So, someone asked me how I deal with the grief and the anger on the person that I am today, how I was created. And it is a very difficult topic to talk about because my primary caregivers were the ones who set the soil, if that's a saying, on my future susceptibilities to trauma. So, an important note is that I nearly remember nothing, like maybe 90% of what I went through, or memories that I have as a childhood, as a child. I have. The other 90% is, I don't know. So, I grew up in a very unstable household. My mom was the enabler. She was pretty much the it's okay, it's okay. My father was the emotionally, verbally, and yeah, after I learned when I was older, also physically abusive. He, with a smile on his face, recounted a time where he shook me as a baby. So, um, I do hold a lot of resentment towards him. I also had a emotionally absent mother who maybe it's a German way of um, parenting, but she was very emotionally absent when I needed somebody to hold me or cry. At least when I was older, she was very uncomfortable with the physical touch that I had needed. So that made me a person who craves hugs and emotional closeness very much, but is at the same time highly uncomfortable with touch and with hugs. Um, the problem is that I, at this time, am heavily dependent on my parents because one, I'm studying and working half time, which will not pay my rent. Berlin. And they so generously gave me a room to stay in until I can find my own housing. Um, the abuse from my parents, especially my father, the verbal abuse that was horrible, um, went until I was 18, 19, I think, and has definitely mellowed down after, especially after I went through a horrible trauma that I will not go into further. But I am still considering going no contact or minimal contact after I get my own place and get my shit together. As for the other trauma, especially SA, CSA, I have experienced one CSA I have no memory of. I just know I think it was last year where I visited my grandma who lives in Turkey. I love her, but I also resent her for giving up an animal that I had a bond with. And I remember walking past a house where this one dude lived, and it gave me the worst anxiety. I cannot describe it. I did not want to see her. I hoped I didn't see him. So that gives me the impression that something happened, but I have no idea. A CSA that I did experience and I remembered after it happened, like I think months or years after it happened, I told my father. And his response was, "Oh, he's old. He probably has dementia. Just stay away from him." And that gave me to the reaction that I never tell my parents anything that has happened to me or is happening to me, because that dismissiveness hurt deeply, and that he was not there for me to console me. And as far as the CSA that I have experienced, I deeply hate them. And I am very sad that I cannot do anything about it. One, because it has been years. And two, both of them, both of them died, which makes me so angry. I've gotten better with dealing with the grief and anger. But it's still there. I wish I had the courage to do something. But it's also in Turkey, so I don't know how far it would have gone. Yeah. It's a work in progress. And I did have a therapist, but my BPD, it was going well, but when my BPD has like a test phase with people, so I need to test whether they will stay with me, be on my side, even if I kind of not lose interest, but like not respond quickly enough or at all, if they do care for me. And she did try her best, but she wasn't equipped for me, so. And I at the time also did not know why I was doing it. Now I have insight, and I hope to find a therapist once I'm done with school in a year. And I hope I get her, because I've grown a little bit more since we ended our last session, and she was great. She also didn't put up with my bullshit. So thank you for your question. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me if I'm comfortable with answering. Thank you.